All right, good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex, and I have some news updates from around the land of smiles for you today, this Tuesday, July 16th. Discover Novotel Marina Sriracha and Kosichang with our exclusive Stay 2 Pay 1 offer. Enjoy 2 nights for the price of 1, or book 2 rooms and pay for just 1. Available Sundays to Tuesdays with breakfast included. Book now for stays until October 31st, 2024. And we're going to get started down in Pattaya, where some Kuwaiti street racers have caused some big disturbances. So, residents of Soyen Sabai, Pattaya, have urged police to take action against Kuwaiti motorcycle racers causing noise pollution and disturbances. On July 13th, a fight involving over 50 Kuwaiti men broke out, as shown in a video shared on social media. Locals report that these racers blocked the road and rev engines late at night. This is not the first incident. Similar disturbances occurred last year, leading to arrests and motorcycle confiscations. Despite previous actions, the issue persists, with another group causing an accident and fleeing the scene last August. Yeah, this is not the first time I've reported this story. The Kuwaitis and their bikes in Pattaya apparently causing a ruckus. So, yeah, it is something I reported last year. I believe I did earlier this year as well. And here we are again. So the problem persists. Yeah, I don't know. The bike culture can get a little out of control. Particularly when you can see how the modifications go and the exhaust is just really loud, like, it really can be annoying to some of the more peaceful suburbs that don't really want that kind of action around them. Especially when you got a gang of 50 of them all of a sudden breaking out in a fight. So hopefully the police can, slap some wrists and restore some order down in Pattaya. Who are we kidding? It's Pattaya. Well, yeah. Anyways, let's see. Shano says, fine and book them. Too noisy for the Thais and tourists. Agreed. Like, I feel like there's a time and a place, and this is why a lot of bike enthusiasts have to schedule their rides with bigger groups so that they aren't disturbing people. They're going to places where they can be as loud as they want. There are ethics to this scene, and we have some good practitioners in our office. So not all bikers are the same. All right, anyways, let's see. You are a Florida guy, so am I. Oh, thank you. Well-rounded. I don't know. You can take the boy out of Florida, but you can never take the Florida out of the boy. Elliot says, Fast and Furious Middle East version in Pattaya. Look at that. Globe-trotting, just like the movies. San Francisco says, take away their bikes, give them a night in jail. Crazy. Yeah, seize the noisy bikes, says Anil. People aren't having it. All right. I'm with you on that. Like I said, just be respectful of the, especially when you're a guest in the country. These guys are all foreign citizens. Deportation is on the menu. Nobody wants that. All right, on to our next story. We have some political news from the highest levels. Now, Tassaen Shinawatra, the former prime minister who lived in exile, is to receive a certificate of innocence. That's right, the former Thai Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra will be officially released with a certificate of innocence, whatever that means, in August after completing his sentences. Initially sentenced to 8 years, Thaksin's term was reduced to 1 year due to a royal pardon. Released on parole in February, he toured provinces to meet supporters while adhering to parole rules. Corrections Department Director Kun Sahakarn confirmed Thaksin's release, after which he won't need to report to authorities. Though Thaksin expressed no desire to re-enter politics, Deputy Prime Minister Phumtham suggested he might become an advisor to the sitting Pheu Thai party. Yeah, I mean, by all accounts, Thaksin Shinawatra, he is the father of the current ruling party in Thailand, the Pheu Thai party. And all sorts of weird tricks were kind of used to keep him out of the limelight. Now this certificate of innocence, I really don't even know what that means in terms of legal application, but seems like a good thing for him. It seems like he's out and about and running around the country. And, with someone like that who has such a family dynasty in politics, it's impossible to think that he won't have any kind of impact on the political leadership here in Thailand. But I think he is more content to take that back seat. He's already done so much work to build that party up. And, his daughter is there. I think his sister Yingluck is still in the game. And, of course, the Prime Minister himself, Srettha Thavisin, is a member of the party as well. So, yeah, he's got friends in high places. He is a friend in high places. And, yeah, the people of Thailand do still seem to have a very high regard for him. So, Let me know what you think about his predicament, because he's been facing a roller coaster of sentencing and forgiveness. Weird story. Let's see. This knife says it's written in crayons. I love that. Shano says, I need one of those certificates for my travels. Yeah, that'll be a way to make sure you got a get out of jail free card. Yeah, come on, just stay on your best behavior. It's a weird one, though, and I think it's an interesting story to see how this plays out as this fledgling democracy sort of goes from a crawl to a walk, hopefully, and we see those democratic institutions develop into a more trustworthy, structure. All right, moving on to our next story. So let me give you it's early morning for some of you, late at night for others, but no matter who you are, where you are, we're getting a trigger warning on this one. So a kindergarten teacher has been accused of abusing a student in Thailand and forcing them to take feces home. That's right. A Thai mother in Pichit province accused a kindergarten teacher of forcing her 3-year-old daughter to take her feces home and beating her as punishment. The mother, Rungnapa, shared the incident on social media, detailing how her daughter returned home in pain with feces in her backpack. Despite confronting the teacher, she received no explanation. The child had soiled herself during school, and instead of being cared for, she was made to participate in activities naked. Rungnapa has since moved her daughter to another school and seeks an investigation. The Bangpai sub-district chief is conducting a 15-day inquiry into the teacher's conduct. Well, that's pretty sickening stuff. Again, I've said it before, I've said it a million times. Teachers are in a position of trust when the parents aren't there, right? This is why we have school, so that parents can have some help, go to work, and leave their child in a trusted situation. A 3-year-old, right, having an accident in their pants, that's a pretty normal occurrence. And this teacher just seemed to have snapped instead of doing what she's supposed to do and take care of this child in her charge. Now, these are all allegations, of course, but the investigation is on, and I'm assuming that this teacher might not be one for much longer, especially if these allegations are found to be true. Nasty stuff, man. I can't imagine why you would even think to make the student take that home instead of just, a quick clean and hey, it's okay. A little comfort, a little reassurance would have been nice in that situation rather than punishment and trauma. This girl is definitely going to, that's not a good thing for such an early person in their life. Let's see, what do we say? Shano says, typical teacher, can't be trusted, and I'd seek justice for the family and kid. Yeah, hey, come on, I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher, and I've been in that position of trust before, and I like to think I've treated it with respect, which is why I hate these stories where the entire profession gets a bad name. You got to remember, teachers are one of the most common professions in the world, so there's going to be bad apples in there. Elliot says, pretty gross and uncomfortable for that kindergarten pupil. Agreed completely. Like I said, traumatic, and it's definitely going to be in her young mind for a little while. So, yeah, anyways, hopefully the girl seems to be out of that school and onto a better situation. All right, anyways, we're going to move back over to politics for our next story, where we have an interesting little scandal developing. Now, a Thai senator's PhD is coming under scrutiny. PhD. Now, Thai senator and associate professor Dr. Kirskamal Plinsamai faces criticism over her PhD from California University, allegedly obtained for only 8,600 baht. Despite having a strong educational background, her doctorate in business administration raised suspicions, as California University only issues equivalent certificates and not degrees. Critics, including some users on X, claimed that the PhD could be easily purchased online. Now, Keskamal and her lawyer defended the legitimacy of her research, but further scrutiny revealed inconsistencies, such as an incorrect pronouns and an unusually short completion time. An investigation into these allegations is ongoing. Well, that's a funny little scandal. Let's see. The investigation's on, but I feel like it's going to be easy to get to the bottom of, because all of those records can be easily obtained from, employers, right? Like things like that, particularly people holding public office. This kind of scrutiny is going to come along at some point. And if your story doesn't hold up, what is that going to mean for your political future? Now, this woman has, these are allegations, of course, I'll say. But at the same time, it seems like the more they look, the more inconsistencies they find in her story. So it could be unraveling before our eyes. And it is certainly not something, it's something I've heard of plenty of times in speaking of bad teachers, people getting forged documents all the time for the purposes of employment. Who knows how she's used this degree for her gain and for, gaining people's trust. Obviously, PhD, those are some serious letters, and people who obtain PhDs sacrifice a huge chunk of their lives to earn that thing. So if she's completing it in record times, maybe she's a genius. Maybe this is all legit. But smells a little fishy to me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Yeah, Shano says, I need one of those Thai degrees for my wall. There you go. I think they're pretty easily obtained. 8,600 baht appears to be the price tag. So get on it, Shano. All right, now on to our next story, dealing with some, badly behaving police and some Chinese tourists. Now, Chinese tourists have been extorted by alleged Thai police officers. A Thai travel agency accused alleged police officers of extorting 700,000 baht from Chinese tourists on a motorway to Pattaya. A dashcam video showed men claiming to be police stopping the tourist car on July 10th near the Pattaya toll booth. The tourists questioned the legitimacy of the officers. The incident involving two vehicles was reported to Channel 7, and the men checked passports, visas, and the driver's license. The local police superintendent stated that no report had been filed by the tourists, limiting police action. The travel agency hopes for justice before the tourists leave Thailand on July 25th. Yeah, we've covered stories here before where we talk about people impersonating police. That has happened plenty of times here in the Land of Smiles, and it could be that we're dealing with another issue, another such case like that here. Tourists, I don't know, we're strangers in a strange land oftentimes. Well, I'm not a tourist anymore, but the point is, compliance is a natural instinct in those situations where you think you're dealing with authority. However, when you're asked to fork over 700,000 baht to the police directly for whatever reason, that would tend to raise some red flags and raise some alarms. So apparently the Chinese tourists complained directly to their travel company rather than filing a complaint with the police. It seems like now those wheels of justice are starting to turn. But these guys might have made off in the wind already with that money. So hopefully they can get to the bottom of it. They do have the cars on camera, so the investigation is on. We'll see if these guys were actually police officers, doubtful, or whether they were impersonating them to intimidate these tourists. More likely, I think. Let me know what you think. Let's see. Back to the other story. Well-Rounded says, what do you call an owl with a PhD? Doctor Who. Good God. I can't believe I read that. Thank you, Well-Rounded, for that wonderful dad joke in the morning. Mandalik, good morning. I just got up. Thank you for joining. Better late than never. Cheers for being here. All right, we're on to our last story for Thailand. And, hey, seems like Thailand has a new favorite precious gem, and that's in the form of Opal. Opal-Suchata Chuangsri has been crowned Miss Universe Thailand 2024. That's right, Opal has been crowned the new Miss Universe Thailand after a night of intense competition amongst 40 contestants. The event featured a spectacular opening performance and culminated in the finalists answering a pivotal question on women empowerment. Now, Opal's heartfelt response, highlighting her personal experience with our breast cancer awareness, won over the judges and audience. Phuket's Suri Suzana Renaud and Uban Rajatani's Muk Kanutai Tasabut were named first and second runners-up, respectively. Now, Opal will represent Thailand at the 73rd Miss Universe competition in Mexico, embodying grace, intelligence, and strength. Congratulations, girl. Thailand has their representative for the Miss Universe pageant. This is always big news every year. Beauty pageants are a huge deal in the Land of Smiles. Like, this is far from the only one. It's the biggest one, sure, but there's plenty of other competitions. We've seen our own Zombie participate in some. Miss Fabulous, I believe. There's Miss Super something. I can't remember. I don't follow as closely as I should. But congratulations to Opal for obtaining the tiara and representing Thailand in this year's Miss Universe. Kudos. All right. Now, back. Elliot liked that joke. Congratulations, well-rounded. You have some fans. The Snipe says, my wife will do the talking and I will be the one drinking. Nice. All right, cool. Sweet. Come on, can't you do both? Drinking and chat? And, yeah, Scott D says, the PhD story smells like fish sauce. Agreed completely. It does not add up just yet. And Mandalik says, congratulations to Miss Universe Thailand, Opal, Thai beauty queen of the Land of Smiles. Kudos. I do love following it. The beauty pageants are fun. A little bit because they're so drama filled and gossipy and stuff like that, and it's a big part of Thai culture, so everybody watches it, and you know, we get our favorites. I think last year we had a great meme. What was it? Miss France. How did she say it? France. Is that anybody else remember that? No? All right, fine, just me. I'll find the video for you. It was super viral. Anyways, hopefully we'll get some funnies out of that later this year. All right, guys, that'll do it for the Thaiger news. Now we're going to head over to ASEAN region. Now our first stop is Indonesia. Now the U.S. is seeking a strategic Indonesian partnership for critical minerals. So the U.S. has approached Indonesia to join the Mineral Security Partnership, or MSP, a collaboration of 14 countries and the EU, aiming to enhance environmental standards and governance in Indonesia's mineral sector. This move, discussed by U.S. Undersecretary of State Jose Fernandez during his Jakarta visit, seeks to develop sustainable critical minerals supply, and attract investment that benefits communities while upholding labor and environmental laws, often a problem in Indonesia. Now, Indonesia, rich in minerals like nickel and copper, aims to become a production hub for batteries and electric vehicles. The discussions on a critical mineral trade deal are progressing positively. Yeah, I mean, we did a news story last week about a landslide that buried 26 people alive in an illegal gold mining operation. So, yeah, I think Indonesia could do with some of these regulations and, you know, what is OSHA? Some occupational safety and health advisory. So, yeah, bringing those international standards into those developing countries, all right, it slows things down a little bit economically, but it prevents the tragedies of these unregulated deaths. So I think this is a good thing. Obviously, the strategic partnership has greater ramifications than just the safety of the workers in Indonesia. It will also have a big impact on battery production and development of those industries, not just for Indonesia on the production side, but the consumption side and the use of those batteries in Western EVs, Western consumer products. Yeah, big deal. We'll see if they can close that deal and yeah, improve things for both sides. All right, a little, I don't know, slow news for the ASEAN region, but I do have one more story for you guys coming out of Singapore. Now, it just came out that Singapore's birth rate has hit a 5-decade low. Singapore's birth rate hit a 5-decade low in 2023 with only 33,000 babies born, a 5.8% decrease from the previous year, according to a survey done in the Straits Times. This decline continues a trend observed since 1971, when 47,000 babies were born. The government's efforts to combat the falling fertility rate, which reached a historic low of 0.97 in 2023, include easing rules on egg freezing and doubling government-paid paternity leave. All right, so the fathers can get off as well, too, for some time off with the kids. This is a strong trend in pretty much every developing nation. The birth rates go down. And you have to wonder, all right, what are the factors that go into that? First of all, it's very expensive for home ownership, right? Like, young people are having to live with their parents for longer. They're not able to afford their own house until later in life. What else? Women in the workforce, right? So many women now are pursuing careers rather than just motherhood. So that's another factor that comes into play with these developing nations. What do you think is behind these things? Please let us know in the comments. Yeah, Shano says, too expensive to have kids. Yeah, I think that's true pretty much all over the place. Like, developing world still has high fertility rates, but it's the weirdest thing, right? The resource-rich countries are the ones that are in decline. So, yeah, Elliot says marriage rates are falling and divorce rates are climbing over there in Singapore. par for the course, man. We talk about the same stuff in Japan, in Korea. The United States and Europe also has falling birth rates, but Europe and America have higher rates of immigration to offset that in terms of replacing the labor force. But Asia does not have a high amount of immigration, so that is going to be a problem quicker for a lot of those nations. We'll see. It seems like a lot of people turning to robotics for labor needs these days. Mandalik says, that's why I only have a daughter. Yeah, one is enough. I don't know. It's they're off the table for me at this point, and there's a lot of factors that go into that, right? Like, I'm interested in the career development that I can pursue, and I also just I'm worried about passing on traumatizing the little guy, because you never know. I know you're never prepared for parenthood. But you have to be able to, give it your all and be able to be present there, at least in my opinion. And I just don't have that kind of mental space right now. So I am one of those. I'm part of the problem, I guess. But let me know what you guys think, because it's a tough world out there, especially when you're trying to make a new family. All right, guys. Well, that'll do it for our stories from around Thailand. You can always go to Thaiger.com for more news updates throughout the day. Please do also head over to ASEANNow.com to join the largest expat forum in the Land of Smiles and join the conversation. That'll do it for today. We'll be back again with all of you again tomorrow. And for now, I'm going to get into the comments and just see what you guys are saying.